In the last week of the Virginia Arts Festival, the John Duffy Composers Institute presented 2 nights of new music premieres, June 4th and 5th, at ODU's Chandler Hall. For 2 weeks, the 7 composer fellows of the Institute had worked intensively with a brilliant faculty of composers, directors, choreographers, and singers. In the June 4th orchestra reading, the first thing one noticed was the presence of one first-chair Virginia symphony player after another. Concertmaster Vaughn Armstrong, violist Beverly Kane Baker, cellist Michael Daniels, clarinetist Patty Farrell Carlson, harpist Barbara Chapman, to name just a few of the 16 players. Heavy hitters all. Composers Philip Thompson and Jake Runestad must have been blown away. Thompson's offering was, in his words, the first Baroque metal professional wrestling opera. Can't say I've heard of another one, certainly not one juxtaposing wrestling and harpsichord. There were 2 scenes, the battle before the final battle, in which Bob Noxious, sung by the awesome bass baritone Kenneth Weber, has beaten his opponent Lord Poetry, sung by baritone Geoffrey Wienand. Lord Poetry recites one of his favorite Shakespearean sonnets to his girlfriend, Darling Donis. Starla is basically a duet in which the narrator, Wienand, wants his girlfriend, Starla, sung by alto Kirsten Solek, to admit that she loves him, but all she'll admit to is good chemistry. Jake Runestad's The Toll uses a fairy tale to explore whether Cinders, a princess, sung by soprano Signe Mortensen, and Charmant, a dragon slayer, sung by tenor David Talo, is likely to wind up happy ever after. Mezzo Barbara Rierick sang Tante Marie, the fairy godmother whose magic tends to make things worse. The orchestration was lush, harp, chimes, piano, eerie violins, nice. In brief comments afterward, Runestad observed that there were times when the voices were definitely covered. Thompson noted appreciatively the opportunity to hear his work in time and space, responding to problems with, I can fix that. I can fix that. The second night was billed as a concert of premieres. Rierick sang 3 songs for mezzo by Ethan Green on poems by Cornelius Eady that explored tender love, obsessive love, and awkward love. How embarrassing is love when it goes wrong in front of everyone. 3 scenes followed from In a Mirror Darkly, an opera by Christopher Weiss based on Tennyson's Lady of Shalott. Lady Elaine, Mandy Spivak, is immured in a tower attended by a monk, David Talo. Her captor, the fierce sorceress Morgana, Kirsten Solek, tricks the rescuer Lancelot, Geoffrey Wienand. Elaine escapes, fleeing downriver in a boat, exulting in freedom before dying. Lancelot finds her and sings, God in his mercy, lead her to grace, ending in a lovely high diminuendo. For the clever artifice of Harriet and Margaret, Leanna Kirchhoff, the sole female composer, adapted Alice Gerstenberg's 1913 play Overtones as a duet between Harriet, Mandy Spivak, and Hetty, her inner self, Signe Mortensen, whose diction one can always understand. Harriet is awaiting a visit from the wife of her former love and has mixed feelings. In spite of inventive staging, it was interesting but not compelling. Matt Fry's opera The Fox and the Pomegranate is a surrealistic tale of love in a fairy tale forest. Meg, Spivak, and the gender-bending Nate, Kirsten Solek, stood apart, singing repeated words and phrases that brought to mind Gertrude Stein's plays on words. The dual pianos played by Geraldine Boyer-Cusack and Beverly Coulter were quietly disturbing. It's a difficult piece to direct, but Alan Johnson had the measure of it as he did throughout the evening. The final work was the most dramatic, Ezra Donner's operatic adaptation of Eugene O'Neill's Isle, about a ship and crew at sea for 2 years searching for a full cargo of whale oil. The impressive Kenneth Weber is the obsessed Captain Kinney who puts down a mutiny, I'm the law on this ship, by crewmen who want to turn the ship for home. As his wife, Signe Mortensen, brings out the intense loneliness of a woman on a ship, hungry for the sound of a woman's voice. She begs the captain to turn around or she'll go mad. He promises to, and then reneges. She snaps, laughing crazily, and on the organ he brought aboard for her comfort, she plays an insane mishmash of hymn tunes, including a brief snatch of the hymn tune known as the Navy Hymn, For Those in Peril on the Sea. Both Weber and Mortensen had the power and skill to make every word count. One consistent problem is that when there's no text or supertitles, high tessitura and rich vibrato can make wonderful music, but clear diction is difficult, next to impossible, even when everything's sung in English. So listeners lose track of the storyline and have to guess what's going on. The composers, all on stage for their final bows, gave unstinting and well-deserved praise to the extraordinary John Duffy, composer, teacher, mentor, coach, who, with the Virginia Arts Festival, founded the Institute in 2005. From the other side of the Footlights, I'm M.D. Ridge.